Child trafficking is the recruitment, transportation, transfer, harbouring or receipt of children for the purpose of exploitation. It is a violation of their rights, their well-being and denies them the opportunity to reach their full potential. An estimated 1.2 million children are trafficked each year. Some of the most common reasons that children are trafficked include child sexual exploitation, benefit fraud, forced marriage, domestic servitude such as cleaning, childcare and cooking, for forced labour in factories or agriculture, or for criminal activities such as pickpocketing, begging, transporting drugs, working on cannabis farms, selling pirated DVDs and bag theft. Child trafficking goes against many human rights. Some of these rights include the right to liberty and security, the right not to be submitted to slavery, servitude, forced labour or bonded labour, the right not to be subjected to torture and/or cruel, inhumane, degrading treatment or punishment, the right of children to special protection, the right to social security, the right to just and favourable conditions of work, the right to be free from gendered violence, the right to freedom of movement, the right to the highest attainable standard of physical and mental health, the right to an adequate standard of living. Many children are trafficked into the UK from abroad, but children can also be trafficked from one part of the UK to another. One very high-profile example of child trafficking in the UK can include the Rochdale child sex abuse ring, which involved underage teenage girls in Rochdale, England. 12 men were convicted of sex trafficking and other offences including rape, trafficking girls for sex, and conspiracy to engage in sexual activity with a child. 47 girls were identified as victims of child sexual exploitation during the police investigation. In recent years, the UK government has significantly improved in battling child trafficking by introducing legislation to prosecute and convict traffickers. Child protection procedures for children who may have been trafficked have also been amended. However, there are still obstacles to accessing crucial services such as safe accommodation, education and healthcare, and there are extensive gaps in the knowledge of the understanding of professionals who are likely to come across child victims of trafficking during their work. This is particularly the case with the capability of the police to examine cases of child trafficking, as there is an absence of officers trained in both child protection and combating human trafficking. Child trafficking is a global issue. Due to this, there are numerous international agreements and conventions that have tried to tackle the issue. The main international organisation which concentrates on the rights of children is the United Nations Convention on the Rights of the Child, which requires states to take constructive actions to shelter children from all methods of exploitation and sexual abuse. The UK became a state party to the CRC in December 1991. The 2000 optional protocol to the CRC on the sale of children, child prostitution and child pornography was established to deliver more detailed requirements concerning the protection of child victims of trafficking. The UK signed the optional protocol in September 2000 and ratified it in 2009 following petitioning by children's rights groups. International and regional human rights principles moulded the basis of the UNICEF guidelines on the protection of child victims of trafficking, which were developed in order to set out ideals for good preparation to protect and assist child victims of trafficking. The guidelines give an outline of procedures for applying suitable policies and practices to protect and support child victims of trafficking. The UK signed the Council of Europe Convention on Action Against Trafficking in Human Beings in 2008 and ratified it in 2009. This covers many requirements regarding the protection and support of trafficked children. The Convention verifies that the actions carried out regarding trafficked children must be different from the actions carried out regarding trafficked adults. The UK has also signed the Council of Europe Convention on the Protection of Children Against Sexual Exploitation and Sexual Abuse, but has yet to ratify this convention. Due to this, the UK is obliged to support the rights of children and to take action to prevent the trafficking of children. The UK government announced the UK Action Plan on Tackling Human Trafficking in 2007, and this plan was updated in 2008 and 2009. The UK Action Plan was an essential breakthrough in organising and leading UK efforts to battle trafficking. The Action Plan presented 62 objectives across various government sectors and encompassed a detailed section on child trafficking. However, there is no functional device for monitoring and reporting against these objectives to find out whether these actions are accomplishing the desired result of protecting children, prosecuting offenders, and preventing the trafficking of children. As well as this, in 2009, the government announced new legislation to protect children. Section 55 of the Borders, Citizenship and Immigration Act 2009 placed a legal duty on the UK Border Agency to carry out their jobs with regard to safeguarding and promoting the welfare of children. This obligation corresponds with the legal duty under Section 11 of the Children Act 2004. Overall, it does seem that there is an improvement in relation to the actions carried out to prevent child trafficking within the UK. Unfortunately, the number of child trafficking cases are increasing year by year, yet the reason for this could be because the UK is getting better at tracking down child trafficking cases due to an improvement in their knowledge and procedures.